I ran out of yarn. Hi friends, welcome back. I'm MC, a knit and crochet designer from Connecticut, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Blame the Knots, on my website blametheknots.com, and of course right here on YouTube where you can get to know me a little bit better. Today is episode 19 of the podcast, and I'm filming this on March 7th, which means that it has been a very long time since the last time I filmed a podcast episode. So we have a lot to talk about today, lots that's been going on. New cast-ons, new finished objects, new works in progress, lots of new stuff. So let's get into it. Let's first talk about what I am wearing. This is not a finished object or a recent finished object, but this is a design. This is my Juniper Berry Jumper, and it is a completely made to measure crochet design that will be ready for testing soon. So if you like it, then keep an eye out. It is completely made to measure. I made mine holding a sport weight yarn together with a lace weight Surrey alpaca yarn, and I decided to make it long sleeves because I was making it in the winter time and I wanted to have something warm. But it is completely made to measure for your body with any yarn, any gauge, whatever you like. All of the instructions are in the pattern, so you can make it short sleeve, you can make it long sleeve, you could make it really, really long and make it a tunic or a dress or something like that. Completely up to you. So keep an eye out for the tester call coming soon. The next thing I want to talk about is, once again, not a recent finished object, but I have not talked about it since I first posted the free pattern, and that is my Harlequilt. So I forgot to show it all done here on the podcast, and this is made with a Fangirl Fibers advent that was Friends themed, and it was 12? It was 11 mini skeins and 1 full skein. That's what it was. So it was 12 days, 11 minis and 1 full skein. And I finished it, got it all ready to go for the pattern release, and then I never showed it to you all. So I wanted to make sure that I showed it because as of when this video goes live, I will have the new modular version of the pattern available as well. So in the free version, there are instructions to make all of these diamonds, and then the Harlequilt is completely seamed. In the modular version, I just folded this up and now I have to undo it again. In the modular version, you are given instructions to make strips of diamonds, and then those are seamed together. So there is still some seaming. However, I decided to do it that way because doing the diamonds in strips like that makes it incredibly portable. So you can really bring it around with you, do one strip at a time, and then when you have time and space, you can seam everything together. So that's what I went with, and as of when this video is available, if you're watching this, you can go get the modular version of the Harlequilt pattern. Okay, now we're done talking about old finished objects. Let's jump into new finished objects. I almost can't believe this, but every finished object I have is something that was not even a whip the last time I filmed. So all of these things have been cast on and completed since the last time I sat down to record. The first thing that I have is the Rewind tank, which I am testing for Claire of Perfectly Knotted. And this is to go with a set that Claire is releasing. So there's going to be a mesh raglan that is long sleeve that goes over this. And I'm super excited. It's a very 90s millennial type outfit. But I cast on and finished the tank. This is made with Barocco Zinnia in the colorway Onyx, and you can see it kind of has some tweedy bits that are different colors. I'm sorry if there is also some cat hair involved in that. But this I made exactly to pattern. I made it with a US 7, which is, I believe, the needle that the pattern calls for, and I made it exactly to pattern. I got gauge, so no modifications were needed. And yeah, I love it. It fits great. It's just a simple tank, fits great, and I cannot wait to cast on the raglan that goes over it. So I have the whole outfit all together. The next thing that I cast on and finished is my West Coast top by the Little Wolf Knits. And this I made with Long Dog yarn, sock weight yarn, in the colorway Wuthering Heights. And I've had this for a very long time. This was some yarn that was the oldest yarn in my stash, and I made a vlog all about using that yarn, reading Wuthering Heights, and making the West Coast top. So this was a lot of fun. I finished it rather quickly. Mine is a little bit looser than the pattern recommends. I did not do a gauge swatch, and I realized as I was binding off that I used the wrong size needle. So I used a US 6, the pattern calls for US 5. I would have been a lot closer to gauge if I had used the US 5, but that is okay. There is a lot of negative ease built into the pattern. So I have just a little bit less negative ease. It is not baggy on me by far. It still fits great. It's just a little bit looser than what the pattern recommends, but I would 100% make another one. I also decided to do a cutout about mid-back in the back of this one because it is kind of a choose your own adventure type pattern where you get to design the back of your dreams. So that is what I did, and I decided to leave it strapless because I liked the way it looked. So yeah, another one down. The last finished object that I have is the Warrior Slipover by Barley and Flax, and this is also in testing currently. I kind of almost accidentally ended up in this test, which is fine. It's on super bulky yarn and uses US 15 and US 17 size needles, which are gigantic. So it went really, really quickly, and it has this really fun, big, chunky cable up the sides with a garter panel in between, and it was a lot of fun. I used the recommended needle sizes, which are US 15 and US 17, and I used Big Twist Hush yarn, which I have to say I might now be in love with. It is so soft. I wish that it came in even more colors, but I am using this lovely evergreen color, and it's so pretty. Unfortunately, I put this on when I finished making it, and I don't know if it's really my style. I'll have to try it on again, try it with a few different outfits and see how I feel, but I don't know if chunky knits are really my thing. So I might end up passing it on. I might try it on again and decide I like it, but we'll see. To be determined. Let me know how you would style this, what you would wear it with, and maybe I can give it a shot and see if I can figure out a way to incorporate this into my wardrobe. All right, let's get into our whips. So the first whip that I have is living in this amazing tote that I got when I went to the Little Wolf Knits retreat and visited Brie, and this is one of her market baskets that she sells, and I am in love. It's so cute, and I have been toting it around with me with my project in it and feeling so super cute. So what I have in here is a test for Brie as well, and apparently I am in my cable era because this also has cables on it. This is the Central Ave Cabled Crop, currently in testing for Brie of the Little Wolf Knits, and I love it. Let me hold this a little bit closer so you can see that cable. It is so much fun. I am using Big Twist Party, Big Twist Party yarn in the colorway Jelly Beans, and it is so bright and so fun, and it's doing this little striping thing that kind of looks like a sunset, and I don't mind. I am in love. So this, unfortunately, is very close to done, and I would have had it done, but I ran out of yarn. I ran out of yarn. Ugh. So I'm sorry about those needles clacking on each other. This design has a small mock neck, and that's all I have left to do, and I ran out of yarn, but I'm gonna go get some more in a few days, and I will have this finished by the next time I talk to you. I thought about potentially seeing if I could take out a little bit of length and squeeze out the neckline, but I don't think I would be happy with the crop if I did that, so I'm just gonna get more yarn and make it work, and I can't wait to wear it. It's so cute. I love it. It makes me so happy. Just, it's been so gloomy here lately, and having these bright colors just makes me really happy. Oh, and I am using a US 7 for that. Oh boy, I do that all the time. I'm using US 7. The pattern calls for US 6, but I did have to go up a needle size because this is acrylic yarn, and I think if I had been making it with a wool that would grow and change when blocked, I would have gotten gauge with the US 6, but I had to go up because I am not anticipating this really changing at all once it is blocked. I'll give it a steam to help you know, even things out a little bit, but I'm not anticipating the size changing. So that's why I had to go up a needle size. And I think that is all the information that I have. I am very proud of myself for my next work in progress because I actually kept my word for what I said I was gonna do last time. So this is living in a Delique O Snap bag, and I love these bags. They're so good. I say this every time I mention one, but I love them. And this is my design called Slip on Your Shoulder, and hilariously I said that I was going to work on this in my last podcast, and I did not work on it until this morning. I was putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and I finally, last night, I sat down with my math, my spreadsheet, and I went through the whole thing, double checked everything, because I knew I had to frog back on this, and I didn't want to frog without being confident in what my math was saying. So I went through, I fiddled with a few things for a couple different sizes that I wasn't happy with. I spent a long time with my spreadsheet yesterday, and then this morning I finally picked up my stitches and frogged. And I have finished the increases that I needed to add in on the back panel, and I started them on the front panel. I was hoping to finish them this morning, but I didn't get to it, but that's okay. And it is looking a lot better. I know it's really scrunched up on the needles right now, so you're not going to be able to really tell, but just trust me, there is a nice curve to the underarm now. And so it actually reaches to my underarm, whereas before it came down straight like here and was just never going to cover my whole body, and now it curves underneath the underarm and it fits great. So once I finish the increases on the front, then I'll be able to join in the round, and I will be just cruising on the body, and this will become my stockinette knitting. So I'm hoping that maybe by the next time I record, I'll have the body of this done. That would be really cool. No promises, but we'll see. And this, I am using a US 8. I am using Fiber Space Vivacious DK in the colorway Denim, and I love it. And I can't wait to get going on this. I'm feeling much better and more confident about all of my math and my decisions and the direction that this is going in, and I cannot wait to cruise right through the body. Now, I did say that I was going to work on a pair of socks and pull those out of my long-standing whip pile in my last episode, and I didn't do that. But I did grab a different long-standing whip, and I'm really excited about it. So this is living in my donut bag, which is from Stitch by Jessa Lou. I believe that this was the very first project bag, like specifically project bag made for knitting, or crochet or whatever that I ever bought. And I got this at Rhinebeck 2 Rhinebecks ago, and it was the very first one that I ever got, which is really fun. And I usually like to always have my Little Wolf Knits projects in this bag because of the donuts and Bree's affinity for donuts, but I have a different project in here. And this is my Brioche Adventure by Jonatan Tollow. And I need to remember what the right side is. Hang on. It's this one. Okay, so this is so exciting. I am in love. I love it so much. I need to remember to put stitch markers in, but I was right about halfway through this section, this darker pink section, when I picked it up. And I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera, but if you look closely in person, you can see a lovely little line running right through the middle of that section where I left the stitches on the needles for months and they got quite stretched out. But I'm hoping that in blocking it kind of evens out and it'll be fine. So I have done 2 complete new sections and the rest of this one, and I love it. I am using a Princess Bride mini skein set as well as a sock set from Long Dog Yarn, and I have decided, I went through the mini skein set and I decided to put them all in the order that the quotes or person they reference or whatever appears in the movie. So let me see what I can tell you about what we have. I'm gonna have to read this off my computer because I'm never going to remember it. But let me see. Where are you? There you are. Okay, I started with the mini skein and the main skein from the sock set. So this is the As You Wish sock set. This is the mini, this tonal, and then this variegated is the main skein of the sock set. Then I went into this light pink is Princess Buttercup. Then the next color is this darker pink is This Is True Love, You Think This Happens Every Day. Then we go into the gray, which is Cliffs of Insanity. Then the green, which is Hello, My Name is Inigo Montoya. And then the next one I have that I added in is this blue, which is called You Seem a Decent Fellow, I Hate to Die. So, yeah. I love it. I love it so much. I have 5 more colors to add in, and then I'm going to go back to adding in the sock set again at the other end to bookend it. And I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait to finish it. This is a fantastic pattern. If you are someone who is wanting to learn brioche, but not afraid to do a lot of it, or someone who likes brioche but doesn't want to have to think too hard or worry too much about increases or decreases or shaping or anything like that, this pattern's fantastic. It's a really good way to build up your brioche confidence, and you also get these color changes every, I don't know, 12 or so rows. I forget what the repeat is, but it's great because it makes you feel like you can get through one chunk and then move on to the next, and you're excited to change color and see what happens. And I love it so much. I also love how things look different on the back side. It's great. I am using a US 5. I don't remember what the pattern calls for, but to be honest, I didn't, there's honestly no need to swatch for a shawl. Unless you're concerned about your yardage. I know I like knitting shawls in fingering weight on a 5. That's where I'm comfortable, so that's what I did. And I have to wind up my next color before I can jump into my next section, but I can't wait. I am hoping to keep my momentum going on this so that I can get it done soon and have one more thing off the list. Quick apologies if you can hear my dog. She just started snoring behind me and I don't have the heart to wake her up. She is snoozing really, really well and I don't have a ton left to say, so I thought I would just let her keep snoozing. I just wanted to remind you that I posted 3 other videos since the last time I recorded one of these podcasts, and they will all be linked. I did the vlog that I mentioned before where I used my Wuthering Heights yarn and read Wuthering Heights, and also talked a tiny bit about going to the Little Wolf Knits retreat, which is another thing that I did since the last time I recorded. I posted a video of a new challenge that I'm going to be doing called 1 Week, 1 Skein, where once a month I'm going to pull one of my single skeins out of a cup that I have them all written down on and I'm going to pull out the name and see what I can create using that one skein in 1 week. See what I can do because I want to get some of my single skeins gone. So that is going to be a really fun challenge, and I think actually after I'm done filming, I think I'm going to pull my first skein. I'm a little nervous, but I think it's going to be really fun. And the last video that I posted is something a little bit different, but I posted a video of what I read in February. And I know that this might not be for everyone who's here because you're here probably you found me because of knitting and crochet and yarn and all that kind of stuff. And you might not be a reader, you might be a reader but not care about what I'm reading, and that's fine. But I read a lot in February and I didn't want to bog down these podcasts. I wanted to keep them focused on the yarny stuff and the channel stuff. So I decided to film a separate video with what I read in February, so you can go check that out if you are interested, and if you are not, that is totally fine. All right, that is all we have to talk about today. I am so excited about all of my projects. I feel really good for all of the projects that I have finished. I am feeling really motivated for all the projects that I'm working on right now, so I can't wait to see what I have to show you next time. And until then, take care of you, and I'll see you later. Bye.